These poll results are a very startling and a very strong message showing deep support by Connecticut voters for initiative and referendum rights, and they go all across the political and cultural divide. Last Saturday, the Wall Street Journal had an editorial, or actually an interview, of Scott Rasmussen, who was responsible for this poll. And it was an extensive interview. And in that interview, Scott Rasmussen said that his poll went all over the country, that the political divide is not between the parties. He said the political divide is between the political class and the people. Without further ado, Paul Jacob, and after Paul Jacob, we're going to have some other people come up and speak, people behind me who support this campaign, and then we'll open it up to questions. Thank you.
Thank you, John. It's a real pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to work with John and the Connecticut Citizens for Ballot Initiative. My name is Paul Jacob. I'm the president of Citizens in Charge and the Citizens in Charge Foundation. We are a national group, in fact the only two national groups that are dedicated solely to protecting the initiative process where it exists and expanding it to the states that don't have a statewide process for initiative and referendum. 26 states have either initiative or referendum or both. That means 24 states, like Connecticut, do not have it. This poll, which was done, I should point out, the company that did it is Pulse Opinion Research, which is owned by Scott Rasmussen. Rasmussen Reports, his main company, does not accept fee for polling. You can't order a poll from them, but he does have a company, Pulse Opinion Research, where you can order a poll. And we polled not only in Connecticut, but in all 50 states, 500 sample in each state. Connecticut's numbers were very, very good, but the truth is, every single state, the voters support initiative and referendum by better than 2 to 1. In 48 of the 50 states, they support it by better than 3 to 1. In 40 of the 50 states, they support it by 4 to 1 or better. South Dakota, they support it 7 to 1. They really like it there. But the interesting thing about these poll results, and John, I think, pulled out some interesting parts of the cross tabulations, but the really striking factor is that all across every ideology, all parties, all genders, races, you name it, any demographic group, the support is very, very strong. For instance, independents, as John pointed out, it's 74 to 11. They support initiative and referendum. That's almost 7 to 1. But among Democrats in the state, it's 3 to 1. Among Republicans, it's even higher than Democrats and just slightly below independents. So if you look at it all across the board, people support this. Sometimes I look at income, because the wealthiest group usually has a real interest in the status quo. And if you look at the income distribution of this poll, you find that those making 100,000 plus are the lowest level of support. But they still support it by better than 2 to 1. So this is an idea, a concept that is supported all across the political spectrum, by every income group, by every group, however you want to slice it up. And it seems to me that it's time for our elected officials to recognize that. You know, this whole election, we've talked, people talk about an anti-incumbency mood. They talk about anger and frustration, a disconnect between the people and their government, in the society in which people are supposed to be the government. And it seems to me that there is a very obvious solution to that disconnect and that frustration. And it is to let the people back into their own government.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jeff Wright. I'm the mayor of Newington. I'm also a candidate for state treasurer. And I got to tell you, this type of ballot initiative program in referendums is the key for the people in the state of Connecticut to take back their government from the career politicians here in Hartford and the special interests. It's a very simple concept, and I believe it's one of the most American of concepts. Just give the people the right to vote on an issue. You know, as we face a gigantic deficit next year's budget, the politicians in Hartford, the career politicians here in Hartford, want to keep telling us we have a revenue problem. The bottom line is we have a spending problem. And the only way we can stop it is to give the people in the state of Connecticut the opportunity to vote on these type of changes.
My name is Pete Del Mastro, and I'm running for the 79th State Legislative District from the city of Bristol. And I believe it's absolutely essential that we pass ballot initiative legislation. Such legislation will give the citizens of Connecticut a very powerful lever for having their voices heard. And that's so important in today's environment where our elected representatives seem to be tone deaf to the voices of the people.
Hi, I'm Mike DeRosa. I'm running for Secretary of the State on the Green Party line, and I'm here to support, the Green Party supports the Toolbox of Democracy. And if you open up the Toolbox of Democracy, you'll find initiative, referendum, proportional representation, and term limits and many other approaches to true democracy. Years ago, people said, people desire democracy, but everywhere they're in chains. Today, we say everyone is in chains, but, I mean, everyone has democracy, but we're still in chains. And the reason that we're still in chains is because we do not have an opportunity to speak clearly to our government. And the Toolbox of Democracy, proportional representation, initiative are the way to go, because it is the purest form of democracy. It allows people to vote en masse on the issues that concern themselves.
Good morning. My name is Al Fronteau. I'm running for the Connecticut State House of Representatives out of the 84th from Meriden, Connecticut. I support the initiative, and I thank these gentlemen for their work. I think this, if put into play here in Connecticut, would help people have a greater voice in their government. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, everybody, for your support and your words and your stories. And it's all very cumulative. I've said from day one, this is an incremental campaign. We started out with just 2 people back in January. Now we have over 2,000 people that are part of our system. And now that we've released these